went to Mass tonight, Saturday, 5 p.m. It was really good. It was hard to concentrate at first. There was a behavioral kid right in front of me with his mom, and he was just acting out, like, just crazy, and I was trying to focus, and I just couldn't focus, and he was like, blah, 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 and just everywhere, and I'm like, oh man, how am I gonna get through this, right? And he was grabbing her necklace and flinging it around and just totally distracting, and I had no idea, and I'm like, how can I even pay attention, right? Like, I just don't even know, like, why isn't this kid in the hallway, or, you know, like, out doing something that, you know, would please him, instead of sitting here, like, being bored out of his skull and causing a scene. Whatever. Anyways, I looked over and thought to myself for a few minutes, and you know, I was looking at the window, which has some stained glass and stuff, and I looked and I started thinking to myself, and I'm like, you know what, I was a behavioral kid. I was. When I went to Catholic school, I was in the office more often than not for behaving poorly. That was due to my family situation at the time. And, you know, I thought to myself, this kid is like just like me. That's exactly how I would have acted. And my frustration, like, I was so frustrated with him and just wanted to, like, tell him to stop, you know, stop. You're really bugging people, you know? And then I just thought about it, and I'm like, that's exactly how I would have been. And I could see other people's frustration, you know, and I could see why they were mad and sent me to the office, and it made sense. And then so when I came to the conclusion that I was that kid because I was actually distracted by him, and I was very distractible at Mass tonight. I was looking around and just, you know, couldn't focus on anything. I mean, that kid was a huge distraction, but other than that, my mind was wandering everywhere, and I was trying to focus, and the point is, I was exactly like that kid. I'm just an adult version. I've calmed my tits, and once I came to the conclusion that I was that kid at one point in time, he sat down, started drawing in a notebook, and never bothered anybody for the rest of the time, which was more than half. He just sat there quietly and, you know, like, drew some doodles in a notebook, and it was just awesome, because I'm like, wow, you know, like, he was really acting out. This kid was very, very distracting. But, you know, once I kind of put it into perspective, and I guess, you know, being angry and stuff about things is whatever, you can't help how you feel sometimes, but redirecting your thoughts onto something else, and I like to examine every angle usually. Even if I'm looking up a tough subject or something, I'll look at, you know, this way, healthcare provider way, I am a healthcare provider, legal way, from every angle. I don't actually have opinions on things just randomly. They're well thought out and researched. I don't believe in the whole just share things on Facebook as soon as you see them. You know, if they make you feel some way, like angry or whatever, you know, research it, right? Like, don't just share it. That'll start a whole thing, and, like, why? It's like when I look at Facebook and people are, like, filming animals and stuff, and they're tortured, and why aren't you doing something about it instead of filming it? Like, forget it, you know? I don't get it. But anyways, sorry for that rant. This kid was awesome. He finally sat down and started drawing, and he never bothered me again, and it was awesome. It was a good service. But yeah, I just wanted to touch base on that. That's my kind of, like, little note for tonight. And yeah, it was good. All right, everybody, take care.